Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a die-hard Golden State Warriors fan, this is the place to be for all the latest news, trade rumors, and game breakdowns. If you haven't already, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Now let's get into it. Could the Warriors pull off a blockbuster trade for Domantas Sabonis? And if they do, what would it mean for the team's future? The Warriors are looking for that missing piece to make another deep playoff run, and Domantas Sabonis has emerged as a potential target. The Sacramento Kings star center has become one of the most dominant and versatile big men in the NBA, and his skill set could fit perfectly with Steph Curry and the Warriors' system. With 3 All-Star appearances and 2 All-NBA selections, Sabonis is one of the most well-rounded players in the league. His ability to score, rebound, and facilitate the offense would add a new dimension to Golden State's playstyle. But the big question is, could the Warriors actually trade for him? Sabonis is having an incredible season, putting up historic numbers that place him alongside NBA legends. One of his most mind-blowing performances this season? He became only the second player in NBA history to record 20 points, 25 rebounds, and 5 assists in a single game while shooting over 90% from the field. Against the Boston Celtics, he dropped 28 points and grabbed 28 rebounds, proving once again that he can dominate the paint. This is exactly the kind of inside presence the Warriors have been lacking. His basketball IQ, elite passing, and rebounding ability could make him a perfect fit alongside Steph Curry, serving as a playmaker in the paint and helping Golden State improve one of their biggest weaknesses, rebounding. But would the Kings actually be willing to move him? The Kings have rebuilt themselves into a playoff team, and Sabonis has been a huge part of their success. His presence helped them end their 16-year playoff drought, and he remains one of the most valuable players on the roster. But in the NBA, no player is untouchable. If the right trade package comes along, Sacramento could be tempted to shake things up. For the Warriors, putting together a trade package would likely involve a mix of young talent and draft picks, possibly including Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, or even Kevin Looney. Would that be enough to convince Sacramento to make a deal? From a tactical standpoint, Sabonis would completely change Golden State's offense and defense. Unlike traditional centers, Sabonis is a high-level playmaker, allowing the Warriors to run their offense through him in the post, much like how Draymond Green facilitates from the top of the key. His rebounding would help fix one of Golden State's biggest issues, no longer relying on smaller players like Draymond and Wiggins to battle for boards. Defensively, while he's not a traditional shot blocker, his positioning and physicality would provide much-needed support in the paint. The biggest question is whether the Warriors' system would need to adjust to make room for a dominant low-post big man. If the Sabonis trade doesn't happen, Golden State still has other options. The team could look at Jakob Poeltl, a traditional defensive center, or even bet on internal development with rookie Trace Jackson-Davis. But with Steph Curry still playing at an elite level, should the Warriors go all in on winning now or focus on developing their young core for the future? How Sabonis fits with the Warriors' system, his impact on offense, defense, and team chemistry, the trade package needed to acquire him, what Golden State would have to give up and if it's worth it. Would the Kings trade Sabonis? Why Sacramento might or might not consider moving him. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a Golden State Warriors fan, you're in the right place. We cover all the latest news, trade rumors, and game breakdowns, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Let's get into today's topic, Domantas Sabonis and the Warriors. The Warriors are looking for a key piece to help them get back into championship contention, and one name that has been making the rounds is Domantas Sabonis. The Sacramento Kings all-star big man has established himself as one of the most versatile and skilled centers in the NBA. Would Sabonis be a perfect fit for the Warriors? Can Golden State actually make this trade happen? And would the Kings even consider moving him? Let's break it all down. The Warriors' offense thrives on ball movement, spacing, and high IQ basketball, and that's exactly what Sabonis brings. Unlike traditional big men who mainly operate in the post, Sabonis is an elite passer, a strong rebounder, and a highly efficient scorer. Elite playmaking for a big man. Sabonis is one of the best passing centers in the league. He averaged nearly 8 assists per game last season, making him a perfect fit in Steve Kerr's motion offense. He could operate out of the high post, setting screens for Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson while finding open shooters with pinpoint passes. Dominance in the paint. The Warriors have struggled with rebounding and interior scoring for years. Sabonis would instantly solve this. His ability to score efficiently inside, shooting over 60% from the field, would give the Warriors a reliable post presence. Pick-and-roll weapon. Imagine a Curry-Sabonis pick-and-roll. With Curry's gravity pulling defenders out, Sabonis would either get easy layups or kick the ball out to open shooters. His ability to read defenses and make the right play would make Golden State even deadlier. Rebounding and toughness. The Warriors are one of the worst rebounding teams in the NBA, but Sabonis is an elite rebounder, averaging over 12 per game. This would reduce the pressure on Draymond Green and Kevin Looney, helping the Warriors control possessions better. Team chemistry culture fit. Sabonis has a team-first attitude, works hard and doesn't need to dominate the ball. His personality would fit right in with the Warriors' winning culture. In short, Sabonis would elevate the Warriors' offense while solving their rebounding issues, making him an ideal fit. This is where things get tricky. Sabonis is the Kings' best player, and Sacramento won't give him up unless they get a massive return. For the Warriors to land Sabonis, they would likely have to offer a combination of young talent, draft picks, and possibly a key veteran. Domantas Sabonis, Jonathan Kuminga, young star with high upside, Moses Moody, promising wing player, Kevin Looney, reliable veteran center to replace Sabonis. 2026 first-round pick. This would be a huge price to pay for the Warriors, especially since Kuminga has been playing the best basketball of his career. Is it worth giving up 2 young future stars for a win-now move? If the Warriors want to keep Kuminga, they could offer Andrew Wiggins instead. Wiggins has struggled this season, but is still a valuable two-way player who could help Sacramento on the wing. Would the Warriors pull the trigger on a deal like this? It depends on how much they believe in their young core versus making a title run now. The biggest question of all, why would the Kings trade their franchise player? Sabonis is the heart of their team. He led them back to the playoffs after a 16-year drought and is their most important player. Sacramento is trying to win now. They finished as the 3 seed last season and want to keep building, not rebuild. No guarantee the trade makes them better. Losing Sabonis would create a huge hole at center, and there's no guarantee Kuminga and Moody would develop into stars. Kuminga's potential. If the Kings believe Kuminga could be an all-star, they might consider retooling their roster around De'Aaron Fox with a younger, more athletic core. Sabonis' contract situation. He's under contract until 2027, but if the Kings don't see a path to a championship, they might trade him early to avoid losing value later. Long-term flexibility. Trading. Sabonis could give Sacramento multiple young assets and draft picks to build a more balanced team. At the end of the day, it would take a perfect offer for Sacramento to even consider moving Sabonis, but if Golden State made a strong enough push, it's not impossible. The Golden State Warriors are in a unique situation where they must balance winning now with Stephen Curry while also planning for the future. Adding a player like Domantas Sabonis could completely reshape their roster and elevate them back into title contention. Why Sabonis is an ideal fit for Golden State. Sabonis is not just an all-star. He's one of the most versatile big men in the NBA. He excels in several key areas that align with the Warriors' system. Elite passing. The Warriors thrive on ball movement, and Sabonis is one of the best passing bigs in the league. He could serve as a secondary playmaker, allowing Curry and Klay Thompson to get easier shots. Rebounding dominance. Golden State has struggled with rebounding, often relying on Kevin Looney and Draymond Green to fight against bigger, stronger centers. Sabonis would immediately boost the Warriors' presence on the boards. Scoring versatility. He can score inside, finish with both hands, and even stretch the floor with mid-range jumpers. His ability to play inside out would open up more space for the Warriors' shooters. The Sacramento Kings have built their team around Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox, so it wouldn't be easy to acquire him. However, the Warriors have some assets they could offer, including young talent. Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, or Brandon Podziemski could interest Sacramento. Draft picks. Golden State could include future first-round picks to make the trade more appealing. Salary matchups. A package including Andrew Wiggins and or Chris Paul's expiring contract could make the money work. Would the Kings consider this trade? It depends on whether they believe Sabonis is the key to their long-term success or if they'd prefer a more balanced roster. The Warriors would need to make a very aggressive offer to pry him away. Impact on the Warriors' play style. If Golden State lands Sabonis, Steve Kerr would have to tweak the system to maximize his skill set. The offense could run through Sabonis at times, reducing Curry's workload. Draymond Green could play more at power forward, allowing for a bigger lineup. The team's pick-and-roll game would improve, as Sabonis is an excellent screener and roller. The biggest challenge would be defense. Sabonis isn't known as a great rim protector, which could leave the Warriors vulnerable against teams with dominant big men. Would the offensive boost outweigh the defensive concerns? That's what Golden State must decide. How Jakob Poeltl could fit into the Warriors' system if a Sabonis trade doesn't happen. Another more realistic option for the Warriors is Jakob Poeltl, the Toronto Raptors' starting center. He may not have the offensive skill set of Sabonis, but he offers something Golden State desperately needs: size, rim protection, and rebounding. Elite rim protection. At 7'1", Poeltl is a strong shot blocker and interior defender, something the Warriors lack. He could be their answer to stopping dominant big men like Nikola Jokic, Anthony Davis, and Rudy Gobert in the playoffs. Rebounding machine. The Warriors struggle against teams that dominate the glass. Poeltl averages 9-10 rebounds per game, which would provide much-needed interior help. Efficient finishing. While he's not a shooter, he scores efficiently in the paint and is a great pick-and-roll partner. His ability to set hard screens would free up Curry for more open shots. Challenges of acquiring Poeltl. Moses Moody or another young piece, a first-round draft pick, salary fillers like Kevin Looney or Chris Paul. Would Golden State give up a promising young player for Poeltl? That's the big question. How he would change the Warriors' lineup: Looney shifting to a bench role, strengthening the second unit. Draymond Green playing more at power forward, reducing his wear and tear. Better defensive matchups against big teams, making it easier to guard dominant centers. The downside? Poeltl doesn't space the floor. The Warriors have historically preferred bigs who can pass or shoot, like Andrew Bogut, so they would need to adjust their style to integrate him. If the Warriors want a low-cost, defensive-minded big man without gutting their roster, Poeltl is a solid option. He wouldn't change the team's offensive identity, but would help fix their rebounding and defensive weaknesses.